right, so I did it this time.
Yeah,
Yay!
oh,
Yay! Okay, everybody. So, of course, I'm Mystical Love and Light, and we have my co-host Drew from Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now, Chris, do you see how I did that? Because he always gets it messed up. Okay. And then we have our guest, which is Sherry with PWI, and I always get messed up on all of hers how to say it. Go for it, Sherry.
PWI investigators, just say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There you go. She's a PWI investigator. I thought there was a lot more to it.
That's
It's
because
PWI,
she had
PWI spiritual investigators, but I'll let you say PWI investigators. They'll know what it is because I write in the room.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
because we did end up adding extra channels away back then, didn't we? And in that way, the spiritual part came into Sherry's.
Everyone gets confused because I'll go into certain chats and stuff, and they're like, look at me, and they're going, "Do it?" I'm like, "It's Sherry," and they're like, "Well, you've changed your name. We've got to get used to having your name." Like that.
it took me a while to know that when Drew came in under her other name that it was actually Drew. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know at first that it was. So let's say hello to the chat, which is Iron Fire Horse. Hello. We got Dobby Socks in the house also. Hello.
Welcome.
This is just pretty much going to be an informal chit chat about our devices or paranormal devices, like a show and tell. We're going to show what we use when we do our paranormal investigations. Sometimes we might use all of them. Sometimes we might use a small percentage of them. It just depends on if we're in a house, if we're in a cemetery, you know, if we're wherever we're at. It just depends on what we can pack on our shoulders and drag along with us.
Yeah.
And see, the way that I have mine is when with my team that goes with me, I have them assigned to certain equipment. I have all the equipment. All they have to do is show up and then run the equipment. So, you know, so like I have Cassie. She runs one of my videos. Jennifer, which we call Coco, she runs another one of my video cameras. And then we have Annette. She uses my still camera. So if she sees something that she feels might be there, she takes a picture the way the camera, and I'll pull the camera out, but I'm just kind of saying how they work.
That's a good idea.
And yeah, and then so she if she takes a picture, it'll take boom, 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 3 pictures.
Right.
My son set it up like that so that, because the way it was before, she'd take a picture, then we'd have to wait a few seconds, take another picture. So my son James, he fixed it up to where we don't have to do it like that now. And then we have Tina. She runs my SLS camera that is right here in the back. And then all the other things that we have, the handheld stuff, then that's kind of what I do, and then they do the filming and stuff.
Tell me the truth. What do you feel about the SLS camera? I know a lot of people, when it first came out, was gravitating towards it. But through time, I've spoke to a lot of investigators, and they've said that it really isn't worth the while setting it all up. By the time you set it all up, it's all programmed, it's quite a lot of hassle. Is that true?
Okay, that is true. It is a hassle. That's the reason I already have it set up before we came on live. Or I would be spending 15 minutes reading my directions that I wrote down, because, you know, it also records.
Right.
And but it is a lot of steps to do. So the main thing is, if you're just going to be in and out of a place, there's no sense in taking it with you. So if you're going to be somewhere for a couple of hours or something, then you can go ahead and get it set up, but you're not going to be using it the whole time. It's just if you feel a lot of activity or something is around, then you want to, and that's the reason that I trained Tina how to use it. I gave her my password so that if I'm doing something else, she can take it out because it's all in the van and they just go get what they need.
Yeah.
That way she can get it all set up. So that part, yes, it is a pain in the ass to get it started. It's just once you get it started, then it helps out a whole lot. Now the thing with it is, and I'll get it up here. I'll get it up here in a minute. Since I talk with my hands, once I'm holding that, I can't talk with my hands because I'm having so
hold something.
Yeah, and I'm like, so on that, what it is too is you'll hear a lot of negative stuff about it, that it gives you a lot of false readings and stuff. Well, the point is you have to learn how to use it. Okay?
Right.
So if you learn how to use it and you can debunk the stuff that it's picking up as it not being paranormal, then you learn to pick up the stuff that is paranormal.
Yeah.
Okay. So example, I'm sitting in this chair. If I had someone holding an SLS camera and it was toward me and say it was picking up a figure, you can look at it, and if it shows the stick figure sitting in a chair, well, then you know that's me.
Yeah.
Or if I'm not in the chair and it's picking up the chair and it's picking up like the back is the stick and the legs, and the legs of the chair, a stick figure leg, or if it has the arms, then you know it's picking up the chair. Because I've seen some people go, look, there's a spirit sitting in the chair. No, it's the chair that it's picking up.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's aligned properly to be the
spirit. And you have to make sure there's not, sometimes they'll pick up a lamp and they're like, look, somebody's standing there when it's the lamp. So you look behind it too, and if there's a lamp and it's right on the lamp, it's going to be picking up the lamp. Because it picks up things like in a 3D kind of thing. So you have to differentiate and say to the people, okay, that's just the lamp it's picking up. So they know you're being truthful and honest. So many people get them and they're like, oh my God, there's a spirit. Oh my God, there's a spirit. When it's not. Okay.
The little one that has the app, if I think it's Tube Buddy that's got the app on it, I'm not sure. But it's the SLS app. And I had it, my dressing table has got 2 posts. And I had it looking as if there was 2 spirits. Yeah. But it was just posts on my dressing table.
See, and see, you would know to debunk that. Oh, thank you, Dobby Sock. She shared it out. Thank you. So you learned, like, when we were, when I was in the cave, the whole team was there, and I was in the, way in the cave, and then as I was coming out, like when Lee and Tina started saying, there's a spirit in here, because they were picking up a stick figure on the SLS camera. Okay, then you have to think, we're in a tunnel. There's nothing in the tunnel but the tunnel. And we were so far in the tunnel that there's no way it would have picked us up, because it only picks up so far. Okay?
Right.
So they're yelling for me to come look at it. So as I start getting closer and I'm in view, then you can see it picks me up. But this other stick figure is still there. Yeah. So we're looking around to make sure there's nothing there, that we would have to debunk or anything. And then it shows where I'm here, and it starts climbing up the wall. Whoa, you know how the tunnels go up, and then it's crawling up the wall. And I'm holding my hand up, and I'm like, can you do this? Can you, wave, or, I'm trying to get it to do stuff. And it's still continuing. At one point it climbs up, and then it waits, and then it climbs down a little bit closer, and it's picking it all up. So that was a true spirit. And then shortly after,
sometimes they're extra long as well, isn't there? Sometimes their body's dead long.
yes. And then when it like goes away, and I start saying, and they're still filming, and at this point I didn't know how, because you have to put an app on it to get it to record.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
I didn't have that app on it yet. I just thought that it would record. And then I
Right.
got a hold of the person that I bought it from on eBay, and she explained to me how to download the recording app and
Right.
all of that. But in the meantime, I had one of the other girls with one of the recorders, and she was recording the SLS. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
that way everybody else could see that what it was picking up. And I kept saying, something's touching my leg, something's touching my leg. I kept saying it
Yeah.
several times. I could feel it where something was making contact with
Oh.
my leg. I thought it was just something touching my leg like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then it came out that it started picking up the stick figure, the entity,
Yeah.
and I was this small compared to the entity way up here, like
Ah.
almost as tall as that tunnel was.
Oh
And
wow.
I have the picture, and I'll show it in a minute, so that way people that's coming in will watch it. And I have the pictures. I'm gonna show. You can see it. It's like, you know. Let me show you this. You know how when you're going to like kick, you kind of lean and pick up your leg?
Yeah.
Okay, it leans to kick, and then the SLS takes showing the pictures of his leg coming up in different angles, and then
Right.
kicking like that, kicking me.
Wow. I
Yeah,
remember watching it.
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember seeing it.
You
yeah,
need to watch it, guys.
yeah. And so I'll show that over there. But while we're on that, let me just show because where people. Oh, hey, anonymous.
Hey.
Welcome on, Anonymous.
That way I can show what I'm talking about, and then it'll give them in case they want to later, like, if they
Yeah.
want to purchase one or something like
I think
that.
Laws is in the group asking if we're live. If somebody wants to pop into the Coven group and tell her that just to hit the link if she wants.
Yeah, because I think last time she had Sherry send her the link on, was it
Yeah.
email, Sherry?
I did send it to
I
her.
sent it in the group chat, and then I sent it onto a messenger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Laws,
Okay.
if you're watching, just hit the link, sis. Come in if you want.
Okay,
See,
so
like you talking about the SLS cameras, see, I've got a bit of a different view on the SLS cameras. Like, I'm not saying they're not real. When they first come out, I really didn't believe in them at all.
right.
I didn't like the fact that they picked so much stuff up, and I
Mhm.
thought that would really conflict the evidence that you're getting as an investigator. But then as I've seen people through time start using it and showing how to use it properly, I do find it very interesting, and
Yeah.
you can get some very good evidence on it. But I'm one
Right.
of these investigators that wouldn't use that sort of device because
Yeah.
of where I am. There's so many trees and woodland and stuff about it. It'd be too
True.
Right.
contaminated, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they are good
You have
devices.
got to
Like
watch where you use
I
it.
said, if you know how to use them
Hey,
properly,
Shelley.
they are really good, really
Mhm.
good devices if you know how to use them properly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
explain to people what is really there and what it's picking up that's false, then they will know that when they're watching other people's videos, what is real and what is not. So
That's
I
why I
just
wanted to ask how you put it together, because I did ask. I can't even remember if it was Haunted Finders or Amy for Shadow Hunters UK, and she says that it really does take a lot to get it cabellarized and things like that. So
it comes in a bunch of different pieces. It comes
Yeah.
all separate. And I was surprised because you know me, I am not tech savvy at all.
yeah,
I took everything out and sat it out, and without reading no instructions or anything, the person that I bought it from eBay, she sent me 4 videos to watch.
right,
She said, sit everything out, don't touch anything, watch every single video, and it goes step by step. So it
Good.
would show, connect this. And
right,
then, you pause it, you connect it, and then you go to the next part. So I did
Right.
it myself according to all of her. I could have read it and done it, but
Yeah.
she was actually showing a video how to do it. Okay, so you can see that.
Oh wow,
yeah,
This,
I remember seeing
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Really
the short one
fascinating.
is, and see how
We
it's
was having a
leaning.
giggle, weren't we, about it because he was kicking you and that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's leaning back on that one. And then here you can see where it's just starting to pick up its leg.
Yeah, it's kind of leaning.
Yeah, and that's so that people will know this one is actually a real one. And then look at its leg now.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and then where
It's definitely going to kick
yeah,
you.
yeah. And the thing is it doesn't have to make contact. I could feel the touch just from the energy of it being right there.
Right.
Okay, and then that's where it put its leg down.
Back down.
Yeah, and then this one.
It as well. You can see in the video that you're actually looking at it.
Yeah, and there's nothing around to say that it's anything in the background.
Yeah.
This is me on the bottom holding my hand up.
Right.
And that's the other entity that was crawling up the wall.
That's the wee one.
And I was trying to get it to respond. And then you can tell here where it changed. It like changed its.
Yeah.
You know how its structure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be like climbing up the wall, and then it would like come back down.
Is it a kid maybe, or is it not a kid? Just kid size?
The size of it?
Yeah. Do you think it's maybe like the size of a kid?
Yeah. We kind of felt like it was almost a child because we caught where it said "Mama."
Right.
And so we figured that it may have been. Now I'm gonna get this over here, and let's see here.
I will say to anyone that's saying why would a child float in the air, the fact is it's a spirit and they can go up to any part of the structure as they want. They can float up, they can do whatever. So where it looks like it's crawling, it could have very well been floating across the wall.
That's right. Yes. Perfect, Sherry, because the tunnel is pitch dark.
Right.
Pitch dark. So see, we would be standing here looking to see what it's pointing toward. This is what is actually picking up movement.
Yeah.
Okay?
The motion sensor.
Yeah, and then this is the battery on it, and you can put a card in here and then record. So that's kind of how. See, like if I see my hand.
Uh-huh.
So it's not picking up as a stick figure. It's my hand. But if there were a spirit going by, then it would pick it up.
Yeah.
Now say like see the shape of my shelves. If it picked up a stick figure that was the shape of those shelves, it's not an entity. It's not a spirit. It's my shelves that it would be
causing it.
Yeah, that it would be picking up. And so this one here, this tripod, it's a table tripod because when you sit it down, it's completely spreads out flat three directions.
Right.
So yeah, see, it will completely lay flat.
That's handy.
That way, if you're in a room or something, you can actually sit it on, a counter or a chair or a table while you're doing something else, and it can be recording. Yeah,
it's good that they are really good devices, guys, and be prepared to pay for them as well because they're not cheap.
Yes,
they're not cheap.
Okay,
and you have to get the tablets sometimes separate as well, unless the person puts
there's
it on.
actually different devices for them as well because you can actually do it where you do it on the PS3 as well, and you can have like a special like laser and
I think
quite a few different ways.
I think this is one of those, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, the little red box thing that you've got there would go on the thing. So I remember when I was out on an investigation with a team, and they used that because we were doing it in a hotel room. They used a PSB or whatever it's called box.
Yeah.
And they had all of the motion sensors and stuff. So it's a little bit more of a different setup to what Sister Mystical uses, but it's still the same thing.
Right. And see right there, it's on infrared is what it is on. Yeah. So if you're somewhere and it's pitch dark, nobody else is going to see this light because it's on infrared picking up. So before I go to the next thing, since this is a show and tell, Do y'all want to show anything of y'all's, and then we'll
Welcome,
just
Go
keep.
Squad.
So, hey Chris.
Hello, Go Squad.
I've got my baby, if you like, is my thermal. I like this one.
I want one. I want one.
As I was saying, this was actually one I bought off of Tom Buckmaster. It's a couple of years old, guys, but basically it's good for. See if you're standing somewhere and you feel, as like Chris and I used it on Sunday, because if you're standing there and you feel as if there's something there and you don't want to use the meter because it makes a noise, or you don't want to use a spirit box because it makes a noise, this is good just to have in your hand and just basically see, because if you wouldn't, I'll show you as well, you can change the different colour settings and things on it.
Yeah, I like the red because that's more to like that people are used to seeing, that it's heat.
Yeah.
Like
I've got
body
it.
heat or energy heat. Yeah,
I've
I don't
got
have
it
one. I want one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sure
do as well. I
you've got
like
one.
them. They're really cool.
And it takes a memory card as well, and it can record.
Oh, it
which is
does?
good.
It
Yeah, and it
does?
also records in other. You don't have to have it on thermal. You can have it on normal. For look, there's thermal, right? Then you press down and it goes to normal recording.
Oh.
There's a normal now.
Hey, Chris from Ghost Squad Scotland. That's a mouthful. My birthday's in October. Drew can give you all the information on there. She knows my address.
I've got it set up for the green to be cold and the purple black to be hot. It's a great bit of equipment, yeah, and you can. The only thing I don't like with it is only lets you record for like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. That is the only thing about it. It keeps recording and then it stops and then you have to keep pressing the button. That's the only thing that I don't like about it. And the memory card just goes in the side. But it's a great piece of equipment, guys. And they aren't as expensive as they used to be. When they first came out, they were about £300-400. But you can now get them for about £150-200, I think.
Which is still a lot of money, though. Woo.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a great piece of equipment, but for if you do sense something around you and you want to just have a quick scan and things without making a noise or anything flashing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think those are like really super. Lee keeps saying he thought I had one, and I said, no, it's a temperature deal for the coldness.
Right.
Sherry, do you have anything you'd like to share next?
Well, I've got like, obviously I use all the basics like the EVPs, camera recorders, things like that. I've got like different types of motion sensors. I've got like the normal standard one that you can just sit down somewhere. Obviously, if you're going to be using these sort of things, you need to have it where there ain't going to be any reflection or shadow that can move over them.
Yeah.
And you've got to make sure that they're set in a place where they're not going to get set off because they're quite sensitive.
Yeah.
Then I've got if you're one of these that go out to these big locations and you're going on really big investigations, because I've done some family houses and I've done Sherwood Forest and stuff like that, so you can get the bigger motion sensors, but these also sound off an alarm. So if you're in another area and you're looking at something, you can tell that something's gone.
They're pretty loud as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very loud, and you get like your little devices to
if you want to turn it on and people can hear how loud it is, you're more than welcome to. It's up to you.
It's not actually got the battery in it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Our neighbour would be like, "What's wrong with you?"
If you've got earphones on, guys, take them off for God's sake, because you will hear it. They'll take your ear out. I'm only going to do it really quickly because of my neighbours, so that everyone think
well, don't get into trouble. I was just going to say because
it's all right because it's still early. It's not 11 o'clock at night yet, so I'll do a little standard thing.
Just real fast, and then I'll forget. The only reason I'm saying that is because sometimes people will see something and they want it, and then they buy it, and the sound is just like so faint, and they're like, "Well, I can't even hear that."
Yeah.
And then you've spent all of that money on something that you can't even hear, especially like me and my hearing. It sucks.
Right, okay. So
okay, I heard it.
Yeah.
Don't break it.
Excuse me a minute, I've just dropped it out again. Hang on.
Everything's batteries though, isn't it? You do need to have a lot of batteries, guys.
That's why
Loads
all of
batteries.
mine are rechargeable. Everything I buy
Wow.
rechargeable. Is one time paying for it, and then I can just keep recharging it.
It's crazy, isn't it? See, unless you can get a bargain on a packet of maybe like the triple exit, triple whatever they are,
Yeah,
or triple A's,
yeah.
it's terrible. Sometimes
I
you're paying
know.
like £50 for
Right, so
4.
as you see,
Okay,
when you click it once, it'll come on with a red light, which shows you
Right.
get a green light,
okay.
and it'll come in. If you go past it, it should set off, like you'll see a red light going off there,
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
see it.
and then it
Let's
should
read
go
it.
off.
Oh. Even the beep beeps loud.
We're like kids in a candy shop.
I love equipment, yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 of these guns, but I've only got one left. The other one, the yellow one, I don't know where it is. And I've lost one of my handheld recorders.
For some
So-
reason,
That's
it's
another
not.
thing. Don't leave your equipment behind, guys.
Oh, here it goes. It's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, that would be perfect for me because I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Oh, no,
perfect.
don't do it again because it'll go off again. No,
Take the battery out. Take the battery out.
That would be one to be good at that place we were last
But
week.
these
Leave one of
are
them in
really,
one
really
castle.
ideal. These would be really ideal if you're going to like big locations and stuff like
Yeah.
that. If you're like one of the, you've got a team and you're going off to different areas because you're in a really big castle or something like that, this would be able, you'll most definitely hear this sounding off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes you got to walk a good ways from your equipment.
And
That would be good to
obviously a
put
lot
that
of people
where we
do
were
that as
last
well
week.
because then it's less interference with the equipment and that's a way of validating that there's something there. So a lot of teams will leave these sort of devices on their own, and if they go off, they know it's not them or the team. And normally
Yeah.
they cut off the area or tell them not to go in there. That's what I normally do. Don't go into that room. I normally will put things like stickers and stuff down on certain floors as well with colours. So red means not entering, and the only person that can enter is me because I know how to
Right.
set it all. Then I have the green ones for like rooms they're okay to go into, and normally I would write up a list like saying, right, so you know, we've got these devices in this room, we've got these devices in this room, you carry the EVPs and a camera recorder, you know, and we kind of go that sort of way. But a lot of my investigations I do on my own at the minute, so it's Sherry by herself. So me
Yeah.
trying to run round a field like a headless chicken, trying to get everything to the right
Yeah,
place.
Sexy
I
small
don't
lady.
mind. I don't mind doing anything by myself, but Lee don't want me to because we have animals around here that can eat me.
Yes, you've still
Yeah,
got
well, no, it's
beers.
not that bad.
Me.
It's not bad like that over here. So we're more safer that way. We're not going to have
Just
some
Sasquatch.
And then obviously my
Yeah.
other one that I use as well is my REM pod. Now these are really, really good devices in
Yeah,
my
I
opinion.
have several of those.
I want one. I
You-
want a
you-
REM
you
pod.
have- like you can get different shapes. You can get circular ones. You can get the ones like this.
Is that-
and obviously
does
what you do
yours-
is you would lift up the aerial and you turn
Yeah.
it on, and again it sets off
It'll
an alarm
be-
like this motion sensor.
Oh, you've
does.
got the wee
Really
black
loud
one.
And
Mhm.
the only way that you can set this off is by actually being touched on the aerial bit as well. That's another really good thing for evidence because if you
Mhm.
walk past it or you do anything, it's not going to go off. It's only
Right.
when you touch it.
Mhm.
So it's a really good piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's one of my other favourites.
I have
And then-
some that I'll show here in a minute that some of them you do have to touch and some of them you just walk right past. So I guess October couldn't come in yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then I have like a ton of flashlights I take because I don't
Yeah.
want to be caught somewhere out and my flashlight go out, especially if you think you hear a noise. You want to
Yeah,
be
you
able
put
to
the
see.
flashlight.
But okay, so these are regular flashlights, okay? But these two here are, I got two of them, one for me and one for Lee. These are infrared flashlights.
Right.
So if you use them, you know, if you're out in the field or something and you use them, other people can't see you and go, look, there's somebody over there because look, you see their flashlight.
Yeah.
So you can see, you know, if there's something there, you know, whatever, but they can't see you because
they
of your,
can't
you know,
see you.
because of your
Yeah.
light.
I'm
So I
the
got
Good
same.
idea.
I've got a normal torch and then I've got an infrared torch, and I've
Oh,
got little
there you
ones
go.
as well that I carry on me. Some I did have head ones as well because they're really, really ideal. If you've got the head ones, you don't have to hold them in your hands. Then you can just
Yeah.
I
I've
don't
just
have,
got the
I don't have
regular
no.
box. I've actually got 4 of them.
headphones.
4 of these black ones. One. two. I've got two in my bag because it was only just Chris and I the other day, but I have got four.
Yeah.
They're just normal flashlights. And I've got
Yeah.
a little blue one and a little purple one, but I've never used them. See,
Yeah,
ones that's purple light and blue light, I've never used them though.
Yeah, you
I've
have
not
to
used
have
the
backup.
flashlight sparkle.
Yeah, and then
And
like the
then-
smaller ones.
Oh
The
yeah.
laser pen as well. I don't know where my laser pen is actually.
Welcome in,
This
Justin.
is
Welcome.
my laser grid pen. It's
Yeah.
really, it is really nice and it's interesting. This one actually is a portable charging one. I got it off of eBay and Amazon. You know, you normally get the ones where you can put the keys in the bottom, or you got the ones where you press it on. With this one,
Yeah.
you charge it through a USB portal,
Good.
and it charges it up. And
I think
you don't
mine's
need
is
you
batteries.
don't need no battery in it or anything.
Right.
It's actually got
Yeah.
Yeah,
something in it,
batteries.
so that's really good.
Yeah, that's good. Now, one of my main things for my arsenal is my. Let me open it up here. Hold on. Because I make this myself and I have it for sale on Etsy. And this is my anointing oil that we anoint our whole team. We anoint ourselves with the anointing oil before we go onto any property to be doing
not
any
turning it on.
investigations.
Yeah.
So,
Marco
See,
said
I
me
have
waiting
a-
for
I
me
have
I'm
a
putting a
blessing
laser
oil.
pen or something
I
on.
have
Look.
blessing and protection oils that I use.
yeah, you have to protect
Yeah.
yourself. And then, let's see. Y'all have anything else you want to show before I go to the next
And
thing?
another
I'm just
really
taking my
good
batteries
right,
out my spirit box. I forgot they were
are
in it.
your
Okay.
balls, right? These
Right.
balls are really, really good. They're called
Oh, I
cat
love the
balls.
cat balls. I
Right.
really
These
do.
are really,
I
really
think the
good.
spirits do.
Obviously, I've got like a new pair as well, but you've got some where the button will stick out of it. Don't stick
Yeah.
the ball on the red button because that could easily push it. But I've actually
Yeah.
got ones now where they're actually inside it, so you can't, even if it rolls over, it's not going to affect the ball.
Okay. See, mine's
These are really good because obviously they can touch them, they can set off the colours. Obviously, like
Yeah.
we all, the Sister Drew definitely uses these as well.
Yeah.
Always
I think the
place
spirits
them
love
on
them.
a flat surface, not on a slanted surface where they can roll. You want it to be concrete evidence when they're being used.
right.
But they're
I
really good.
have two different sets. One like that's hard, that you don't want to sit it up somewhere because if it falls down, it's going to bust it. But you can sit
Yeah.
it on the floor and they can roll it. The other set, and I'll show them in a little bit. The other set is like rubbery. You can set those up in a tree
You're
or
on
up at the
about
top
these.
of the stair. Yeah, like
They
those.
they don't work
Yeah.
anymore. I need to get some more, but you've got the rubber ones that you can sit up on to
Yeah.
build ledges. So if they
Yeah.
do come off, they're not going to break.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're for a staircase or something, wouldn't they?
Exactly. Yeah, I've got both of those.
These ones you would use for like on the floor.
Right.
On the
Yeah.
floors or on a chair, and these ones would be for like your windowsills and
Yeah,
places like
stairs at the top of the stairs, you know, and you
Yeah.
ask the spirit to push
Yeah.
them down.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
and then that'll set them. That'll
Yeah,
set
imagine
'em
that
off.
being in a room and you
Um,
see a ball come
Yeah.
bouncing down the stairs and it's flashing. You know what I mean? You're like, whoa!
With disco
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah,
Okay, so now this here is like if I feel like there's something, you know, that we need to cleanse, then I have this is for my blessed spirit moon water that I make myself, and you can see them in there. So then I would put this in it because it's just
Oh, is that to sprinkle it like that?
yes. Yeah. You just take it off, pour it in, and then if you like need to walk around, wherever, and you know you can say your prayer, and I have my whole thing, my prayers, and you can use this and sprinkle the water, or you can. I have frankincense in this bag with charcoal disc because I have the little, what do they call these? It's like seltzers, like, yeah. And so what you would open it up.
The one the church has, isn't it?
Yeah, you would open it up.
It's a blessing bowl, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like a blessing bowl, and it just smoke comes out the top, and you just
Yeah.
go down.
For cleansing.
Homes as well, they'll use them out funeral homes like that.
Paranormal Nightmare uses
Yeah.
something like that. It's a bigger one, but they swing it.
Yeah.
Like the priest does.
Yeah, for the smoke. Yeah, to cleanse it. Yeah. So this has got sand, so you would put the sand in here first, and then you would put one of the charcoal discs on
All
it,
right.
and then you would light, the charcoal disc, and then you would put the frankincense on it so
And
that
it-
it would start smoking, and then you use the chain to cleanse the area. But you gotta put the sand in it, or it would, it gets hot.
Yeah, I
It's hot
bet.
when you do
Anybody
that.
that doesn't have those sort of amazing devices that's just mystical is you can still take a little glass dish or something and do the same thing with a feather or something like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
your oil, like
I just
oils and
wow,
your
that's all
your
in here.
waters and
Very
that.
filthy.
I don't have anything like Sister Ben Mystical has, so I have like a dish and I'll put the water in and I use my fingers. I make sure my hands are washed and then I just flick
Philo
Yeah.
would say,
that way as well. So,
Yep.
but it is better to get a device.
a blessed man.
Yep.
So,
So anybody just coming in, this is a show and
and Uncle
tell.
Danny's
We're
card.
Yeah,
we're
I've got
showing
one.
our paranormal equipment that we use when we go on investigations and stuff.
Crosses as
And-
well. I take a cross with me, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's got Jesus on it, so I got the
Yep.
proper one.
Yep.
That was little blessed metals that Wally's dad had brought him over with a rosemary. What do you call it? The rosemary. The rose.
The rosemary beads.
The beads. The rosemary.
Yeah.
The rosemary beads. There was a couple of blessed metals in the wee bag. So the rosary beads was on Santa Marta's statue, and the blessed metals I carry about with me.
Yeah, they're rosemary beads, or some people call them blessing beads as well, because they're blessing beads. They're blessed.
Santa Marta has them round her neck.
And I do take these. I take these actually. I've started to take these out when I go out as well now, because to just call on the vibration and stuff like that. But always make sure, guys, that when you're doing any sort of investigation, that you do protection before and after you go, and carry things on you to keep you protected, because anything can still touch you within that building if you don't, or that place, if you don't keep yourself protected properly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Chris
the
and
next.
I actually staged last week when we left that abandoned mansion, just in
Yeah.
case, because we didn't really feel 100% to walk away, so we just staged anyway. So even if you don't know if anything's there, just get it over with, do it, and that's it done.
And
You know.
sometimes, like everyone says as well, like when you leave a place, always tell the spirits to stay there. Yeah, do that, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do that. There are some spirits who will still wander off with you, like kids and things like that. So it is really important to use the things like your frankincense, your telemento wood, your sages and that, because it'll just keep them bound to that location. They won't be able to follow you then. It is really important. They've got a really big need to do it. Right.
Your stones and stuff that you wear to keep them off of you, and
shrine
exactly
bracelets.
And remember your other teammates.
Even earrings as well can be protective if they're a spiritual symbol. Like I've got the star, the pentagram, and I've got the goddess moon on my earrings. They are a representation of protection as well. So I use anything can help you if you've got it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've got, this is called an Appy Droid Spirit Tune. Let me open it up here. This was one of my 50-cent cases that I bought. It didn't come in this case. Hey, handsome. It didn't come in this case, but
Mr. Lee.
She said, "Hello, Mr. Lee."
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, she can't hear me, probably.
Huh?
She can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
She said, "Yeah, I can hear you."
All right, I'm going to the shower.
Okay, honey. Love you. So, this one here, it's pretty neat because it's got a 360 spirit tune. This is one that you don't sit in the same room with you. What you do is you put it in another room where you think something might be going on, where people say it's a hot spot. What you do is you put this, turn this on, put it in the room, turn it on, leave the room, close the door, whatever, so that it doesn't catch any movement outside of the room. And if there's any movement inside those walls, this one is going to go off.
Right.
And that's what it's going to do.
So you'll hear that in the next room.
They're really,
Yeah.
really cool devices. You can get all sorts of
Got
ones.
loads of cool ones now, don't you?
They've got like coffin ones and all
Yeah.
sorts more, haven't they? Like
Yeah.
bigger versions of
Yeah.
them. They're really good.
But I,
Expensive as well,
yeah.
some
I
of them.
want one of them. I do want one of them. I think they're
Yeah.
really cool.
£180 it is for one of those coffin ones you're
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
is. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Because the other ones, you know, you can be in the same room with it. It's just if something gets close enough to it, it's going to set it off.
Yeah.
This one, you do not want to be in the same room with it at all. That way you know 100% sure that it's going off for, you know, for a reason.
For a reason, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's even good, and I have some, the laser pins and stuff, and you, besides this, you can set up the laser up in it, so if there's any movement or anything and this goes off, then the laser, it might pick it up where the laser is at. So, so you can be like recording it. I have to be careful. I
think that is a really important thing to do when you're on investigations. If you're going to have like rooms where it's got motions, movement, equipment in it, it's always really good to put a laser in that one, because anything that the equipment's picking up, the laser is going to finalize that evidence and hopefully show something moving.
Exactly. It actually see a shape or something go by. This is the Ovilus 5.
Yeah,
this is an expensive little booger here.
I was looking at them. They're £380 or something.
Well, this one was because it had the charger with it, in this case with it, and it was $525.
Expensive.
Lee asked me how much was it, and I said a lot. He said,
hello.
He said, how much is a lot? And I said, too much for me to tell you how much. Hey, Hatchie. Welcome in, Hatchie.
Hi,
so this is the Ovilus, and like I said, it comes with its own charger and everything, and this you can actually, it will save all the information, and then when you come back, you can plug it into the computer and download all the information onto the computer.
It's a great tool, though, isn't it?
I've got Ovilus as well. I've got a more older
this
version one. I can't find mine though. I've got my equipment everywhere, so I know it's somewhere.
Yeah, and this has a whole lot of different things that's on this one. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got like 9 different. Oh, it just said
chain reservation
chain. Hey, I need to walk outside next door and walk by and
neighbor just casually with the Ovilus going.
Yeah, and so this does like so many different things. It's
it
you know,
does
all of those wrapped up. Hey, Phoenix is in.
Hi, sis.
So it is just so many things wrapped up in one. But I like the fact that you can put that you can put the charger in it, you know, and connect it to the computer and everything.
Yeah.
And so I won't show all the things on it. I'm just kind of showing what I had here.
It's a great piece of equipment. No,
a lot of these things are not fingernail friendly, because you have to like put your fingernail in there and like move it around.
Even your phone and things, you have to do that with your nails and kind of get your thumbprint like that.
Yeah, I have to have my stylus for my phone.
Yeah.
And then for the your battery is turning low, 6%. Well, it'll probably just turn off by itself. And then I have to have the stylus for the SLS, because it has to have that little skinny point on it for that. Because my regular stylus don't work for it, so that'll go off in a minute. I charged it enough that, you know, I could turn it on and kind of show it.
Yeah.
Y'all have anything else before I go back, reach back there and grab something else?
Just Old Faithful. Me and Michelle, and then out with me always calls the spirit box, which is the PSB7. We always call it Old Faithful, because no matter where you go, you always hear voices through that. Except for Chris and I didn't hear anything on it on Sunday up at Crawford John. Not one thing came through the PSB7. But it's the original one, guys. This one I got back in 2017, I think. So it is one of the originals. But yeah, just the basics, the torches, the K2. My K2's actually on the battery right now. But yeah, but the basics. In one of
then
those thermals. Everybody's got one of these blue things, haven't they?
you turn
One
sideways.
minute.
You can always tell when Drew's getting a call. She turns sideways.
Yeah, Sister was. I think she was showing an EVP, guys,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they are really reliable for picking up voices and voice phenomena. Definitely.
I'm back, Liam Paul.
Okay. Yeah, we can always tell when you get a phone call because you turn sideways.
And then obviously, I've got like basic equipment, like your K2 meter.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got your temperature guns, like they're just a basic temperature gun. I just like to stay up
Yeah.
late and just get like a red laser that comes out and the dot will be and it'll
Yeah.
bleed like the temperature.
Yeah, I like those too because I have one and
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you get a cold chill, you're like, God, all of a sudden it got cold. You can check the temperature and see, you know, what
But that's
it
why I like
is.
them and that. They're like if like anyone's with me and they go like, oh, it's got really cold this show, but it's warm everywhere else, so you can just stick that and put the dot on them. It says because
That's what Sparkle's waiting on.
Your body heat as well, because obviously you'd know your
Right.
temperature. Because I always test the people's temperatures as well, so that as the night goes on, if there is a sudden drop in their temperature, you know that maybe something's affecting them or something's around them. Like it's really interesting.
Exactly.
Sparkle likes to play with it. Watch that. Watch the dog. I don't know if you can see that.
So now you know if you put that down and you hear that noise, you know it's a spirit dog.
Oh yeah,
If
definitely.
you're at a location. Yeah.
Away. Look, I've not got it. It's away.
So this one here is the REM pod EMF. What I did is on all my devices, I marked them because my team will not know if I tell them to go get something. They will not know what it is.
Right.
So I marked on them so they can, and I marked on the bag so they will know exactly, you know, what it is. And so this one here.
It's away. Go and lie down. Go.
She thinks you're going to play with her again, sis. She's waiting.
Yeah, she does. She's going to sit there all night now.
That's
Well,
just the
I
same
think
with
I'll
my
be
one.
fine.
He'll go and start trying to eat the wall because I stick it up the wall and then you see him kissing the wall, like trying to get it. It's for God's sake. Dogs and ladies.
It's away. Go
So-
lie down. Up there. Up.
So see this one, all the lights will go off on it. And then
The light.
also, yeah. So I'm holding it.
Oh, is that another sensor? Right.
Yeah, because I'm holding it.
One.
But if you sit it, you know, if you sit it down, see it stops. So if
Yeah.
something goes by and, you know, touches it, then it's gonna go off.
Right.
But if it's doing it while you're holding it, you know it's not a spirit, it's you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you turn it on, you hold it, you say, "This is me," and then you sit it down and you walk
You
away.
sit it down.
And then if it goes
And it
off
is-
later, it's like, "That's not me."
That's the same with my REM pod that I showed them as well. Like if you're holding it, it will constantly go off until you put it down. So always make sure that you remember those things with these devices.
Right. And then we have these two here. This is like the one that Sherry had, the EMF REM pods. Now, it's these ones.
Yeah, they're really
Now-
cool.
Yeah, and I have, okay, see, there's two here, and then I have two more here, and okay, so I have four. Now the reason I have so many of these is so when I have my team, you know, and they're in different places, then I can hand them one each to sit up, and so they can keep an eye on, you know, where they're at. So that's the reason I have those. And then this one here is another REM pod. There's one of them I can't remember. This might be the same one. There's one of them that has a music tone and you can switch it. I don't think it's either one of these though. This one, let me see. No, this is the same one as that one over there. There's one of them I haven't pulled it out yet. That it's a dual. It's either this or if something touches up here, it will also sound off something completely different.
Yeah.
So
You know the difference between
Yeah.
if they're touching it or going past it. Yeah.
exactly. Another one that's not fingernail.
And they are
friendly.
really interesting devices to have, guys. They are. Like, I've got the one REM pod at the minute, but I do want to get more REM pods and that because they're really good to just set up in a room on their own. Like, they really are. But at the minute, because I only go to small places, it's only me.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
don't do like me. We went to a cemetery and I set them all out. It was a daytime, and then by the time we got ready to go, it was dark. And then I was like, "Oh shoot, now it's all dark." I said, "Everybody start walking around and set off those REM pods."
Yeah, that's another. It's really good that they do have a sensor or a light that flashes or something, so at least you can see where they are. And that.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's
remember
nice.
where I put them. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm just going to set these off to the side. Did we lose Drew again?
Yeah, I think a phone went against this.
Okay. Then, let's see here. I'll do the camera when she comes back. And then, of course, I also have, like y'all have the K2 EMF meters. I've got 1, 2, 3. Also, for the same reason, so I've got 3 of them. But also for the same reason, so I can give, a couple of them to the girls as they're walking around. And I can always tell them to hold it up when they're walking around. So if something goes off, we can see from the different directions. And most of them, the lights will, blink. I'll push it so that they can see it. Now that's me pushing it. There's one of them that has a sound to it, but with me being so hard of hearing, are you there, Drew? Can you hear us?
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So let me turn this back off. So, but one of them makes a sound, and like I say, I think it might be this one because it looks different. And it has, but I can't even hardly hear it with my ears. I just kind of like, watch it to see when it goes off. I'll show my cameras. I'll show my cameras next. Okay. Hold on. Now I have.
Game because you're moving about.
Now, yeah, I have 2 cameras, but
Right.
I'll have to do, they're the exact same, so I'll just show you the one. Now, these cameras, they're not the greatest in the world because I have the whole holder for it that goes around, connects to it.
That one.
I also,
That.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not very comfortable, isn't it? Not.
Well, it's not, for me, it's not that. It goes right over where you have to change the battery.
True.
So every time you have to change the battery, you have to take that off. Then I had like the handheld one, and it didn't work either. It was just too crazy. But now I'm almost wondering. Now, see, we've been at investigations and we've gone through like 10 batteries in 1 hour.
Wow.
That's a lot of batteries, and that's a lot of taking that off, putting it back, taking it off, putting it back. So sometimes it's not even worth it, but it does have, for the people watching, it does have the IR on it also. So at nighttime when you're filming, nobody can actually, if you're pitch dark, nobody can see the light from the IR. But if you need to turn just the regular light on, you can, but check this out. Hold on. Okay, so that's bright. I'll turn it sideways. That's just the regular light. Now, this camera has one of these on top, and the other camera does. You can change the color, any color you want. Like on Twin Paranormal, they're saying like, let's go red.
Yeah.
Or let's go blue. That's what like these will. Yeah, so like this one is red. So when you're filming, the whole room is red.
Uh-huh.
The other one See, the other one I have it set on blue, but you can put it on purple, you can put it on yellow, you know, you can put it on any color you want, because sometimes, not all the time. Oh, Danny's in. I just now seen him.
Danny.
Welcome in, Danny. Welcome in. I just looked over. I was like, hey, Danny's here. But so sometimes if you're seeing a lot of different spirits and stuff, sometimes it's easier to not so much catch them, but for the viewers to see them better if the other light is a different color. Yeah. You know. So if you're in pitch dark and you have the camera on infrared and you can still barely see it, it is coming out. You can, instead of just using the regular light, you can change the top one to yellow, purple, blue, pink, whatever color, and hope that it changes the shadow enough that, you know, it can be picked up on camera. I'm glad you're doing a whole lot better, Danny. You look better. The last time you looked like crap, but now you look good. I still think he looks like crap. He's really sick.
Yeah. Thank goodness you're getting better.
So it's a show and tell. We're just showing off all of our stuff, what we use on paranormal investigations.
I have a similar camcorder as Sister Mystical and Drew, so I like the similar. I've got like the microphone on it and stuff like that.
You want to go upstairs?
Yeah, and then
just basic ones.
Right.
Hi all. Hello.
Yeah.
That pops.
Yeah, I need to change this because that thing right there is right in front of you, Sherry. Hold on, let me see how this looks. Hold on, I'm moving us all around.
There we go.
That's better, right? Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is the dual REM pod that I was talking about earlier that has the music mode on it. So it's a REM pod and a music deal on it because it's got the little button here to change things. Let's see. So where it has the lights where it'll go off and on, but you can see.
Ooh.
Right.
So it'll change if something actually is touching this. So I'll turn it off. I don't want to do it too much and then Sherry get kicked out of her place for all the noise.
That's all right. I ain't really bothered about them. It's still early, yeah.
And I still have a whole bunch of stuff back there. Do y'all have anything else to show before I go to something else?
I've just got the basic meters and things. The light I've got is that one, but I'm going to get a new one because this one, it is bright. That side's bright and that side does like an orangey colour. But I want to get an infrared one. I want to have this and an infrared, but it just goes on there. And then you attach that to your camera.
Right.
If you're more of an old school investigator and stuff, then you can go for the other sort of equipment as well. You've got like your dowsing rods, you've got your pendulum, things like that.
I like my rods.
If you like to use things like noise, you could use your white, grey, pink, red, whatever noise you're wanting, which you would get a lot of that information off of Pup's channel actually, because he does a lot to do with like the vibration and stuff like that. So I do other things as well, like water experiments, like using bowls with lids and that are putting their name around the bowl when they go to what it is and things like that. So I'm a really old school investigator, but I do have some equipment.
Yeah. Now, since Danny's here and we finished going through all of our updated equipment, then Danny can tell us how he would do it like a long time ago before all of these instruments came out. Because I saw one where he was using like the cards and stacking the cards and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, Danny, when we finish showing all this, then the floor is yours. Okay, so.
Where's my protein?
Okay, just a second. It's on the counter.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's on the
Pups
counter.
has some really interesting
just in a
techniques for
different
the
spot.
investigation.
Yeah, and then of course I don't need to show my balls because Sherry done showed her balls and my balls are the same balls as her balls.
Yeah, definitely.
The face is different, the balls are the same.
I don't even know.
I'm not showing my
I've
balls.
lost my balls.
Yeah, we're not gonna ask you, Daddy.
No,
I've
I'm
got
not sharing
3
my.
torches in my bag and a blue one.
Okay, now this one here, I'm going to show you. I cannot turn this on this close to any of my equipment. Okay? This is an energy power plant.
Oh yeah, they're good to
Um,
use.
Yeah, and the thing is you don't want to turn it on around the computer or within 3 to 6 foot of any of your other equipment. Okay, and I'll show you how it works. And it sits on a tripod, and what it is when you turn it on, and this is a dual one. When you turn it on, the thing sits on the tripod, and it actually vibrates. It pulls in so much energy that what you do is you tell any spirit. You always hear them say, if you're here and you need energy, use my camera or use my this or use my that. I don't want spirits using any of my equipment because the batteries are too freaking expensive to keep replacing and charging. This is what this is. So wherever you sit this at, you need to be standing 3 to 6 foot away from it before you turn it on. And then you tell the spirits they can use this, and it gives them a double whammy of energy. Because that's what it is. It's a power bank just for that. And I really like this because I hear so many I hear so many people saying, just use my camera.
Where would you get something like that then? Out a ghost hunting shop? Or would you get something like that on Amazon?
I was trying to think where I got this at. It was from like an individual that actually makes them.
Oh, right.
I don't even think I've seen this on any of those. Well, I've never looked for them. Let's just say it that way. I've never really looked for them. But,
there are other sorts of power banks that you can probably get on eBay and stuff like that are similar, but not as good as what Sister Mystical's got. But they still do the same thing. And I think that is better because you'll find that your cameras and everything go down all the time. Like you get really angry after a while. You're like, oh my god, now I've got no batteries left.
Well, like I say, I've been in an investigation and gone through all 10 cameras on my camcorder, and that's when I'm like, no, I need to get something else. This one here is the still camera that we use that my son James fixed it up to where you just push it the one time and it takes 3 consecutive pictures.
Yeah.
And
I find that some of the mobile phones these days is one of the best tools that you can get as well for camera wise.
Yeah.
Some of the phones are really good.
This is it here. And,
all right.
And she's real good because she's also an empath and she feels a lot of energy too. So I tell her just whenever you're out and you feel something, whether you see it or not, if you think you feel something, take the picture. It'll take it'll take 3 consecutive pictures. And but I was so happy when my son did that. He's like, God, Mom, that's so easy to do. And I'm like, do you not know who you're talking to?
Don't press buttons.
And I'm like, he's like, come here, Mom. I'm like, just do it for me. And I don't know where he learned all his electronic stuff from, but heavens knows it was not from his mama. Because and he's the one that set up the whole computer system and everything in here for me.
Yeah, like everyone was saying, I guess one of the most reliable pieces of equipment is yourself. Okay, like your feelings, what you feel around you, all of that sort of thing is really important as well. So always take notice of what you feel as well, because then you know where to put things as well.
Yeah.
Especially in feeling and picking stuff up, and you will feel tired when you're on investigations. You'll find when you're there, you'll start to feel drained, or when you come away, because they do use your energy as well.
Yes.
So,
yes.
My laser grid, I've got to put a peg over the button. But it does,
yeah.
It does act like a little stand.
That's good,
I was
though. That's a
just
good
gonna,
idea.
yeah, I was just gonna show mine, and the reason that I got a different ones was for that very reason. I could
Yeah.
not stand the fact that I had to stand there and hold that, because then after a while you start shaking, and you're
Yeah.
like, is there something there, or is it me? Because you're trying to hold the button down. But I
I
thought,
just always put it on the clothes peg and then I sit it down like that.
well, that's a very good idea. I'll need to put a clothespin in mine. I got plenty of them. But I have this laser one, and then I have this
It's your
one,
different colours.
this one here. Yeah, look, Sherry's got it on there.
Well, that's a cracker.
Yeah. Then this
That's
one.
beautiful, that
It
one.
looks like something out of Quantum Leap.
Yeah, yeah. And they're different. They're the different colors. So if I decide I want the one green or the one, red, and then this one is a laser one also too.
No
It's
wonder
just
you
a
need a
different
band.
color. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
That's a cracker as well.
But
Yeah,
if
you
Chris,
can always put it in
Chris
every
is-
room.
if Chris is in here, I don't have a thermo. I don't have a thermo, Chris, like she's got. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one I think looks like this one right here, Sherry.
Yeah, I've got like that one, and then I've
Yeah.
like I said, this one you charge in
Yeah,
a port.
the
You
one-
don't put no batteries or anything in this one. You just charge it on
Yeah.
your laptop or in
Right.
your plug socket,
Good
and it'll
idea.
do it itself. And you get a little case thing, if you can see that there, and all you do is
Yeah.
you just push that over the button, and it'll hold the button on, so you don't have to use a peg or anything.
Yeah, that's what I like about these other ones. You don't have to hold it except for that one laser pin. And then this is what I was saying that y'all have. Sherry, you have too, the temperature one for cold.
Yeah, I had a yellow one, but I ended up with the blue.
Yeah.
We've all
Yeah.
got different colours. Yours is black, mine blue, yours is grey, yours is
Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah.
I
Uncle
like to
Daniel
go.
colours yours.
I like
Uncle Daniel's
to.
yellow, I think.
I like to go into a place and then check the temperature, and then that way if I feel cold, I can check it again, and that way people has a before, and then a during and then an after.
Better let her in your soap
Um,
Other things that are really good to have as well, really, really important investigations and stuff. A lot of people do get them. It's your walkie-talkies and stuff as well, so that you can keep in communication with each other. Because if you're a big team and you're spread out, having a walkie-talkie is an ideal thing to have, because you can keep in communication. Like you could like radio through to somebody else that's on your team and go, "Can you come to so and so place? This is happening. I need you to come with the camera. I need this, need that." So walkie-talkies are really good, and they can get manipulated by the spirits. So I found that out when I was at a graveyard. Something started walking through them, and it was on my pocket. So
Oh,
they're
really?
really good for them to communicate with as well.
Oh, good. Now
Yeah.
this, see how big this bag is, and it's heavy. This has got all of my recharging equipment
Wow.
for all of my devices. So if we're out somewhere, we're gonna be out all night, and we need to charge stuff, I have it all right here. And then the last thing. What did you show, Sherry? I didn't see it.
A box full of wires, different
Oh.
charging wires and everything. I've got like little charging ports and other things that I use as well.
Yeah.
He's
And-
just Tupperware for
and-
mine.
and I had to get a piece of paper, write down what it charged, and put
Yeah,
the paper
that's
around it,
right.
and then tape it so I would know what went to what. Now, just on the phone itself, then I've got the Spirit Talker, the Neprophonic, the Ghost Tube, and then the voice recorder. Now, the reason I have the voice recorder is, see, I don't have my other recorders in here because I don't use them. I have 4 recorders. I bought them because it says they were simple to use. They're not simple to use. If you're in the dark, I can't even remember what buttons I'm supposed to be pushing or anything. Plus, when I'm with my nails, when they're long, I can't get it to work anyway because I can't get the thing. Well, this one is so simple because you push the button, you hit record, testing, 1, 2, 3, you stop it, and then you just audible. Okay, yeah, whatever. Trying to get me to buy something, and then you hit, and then you hit, yeah, and then you hit play, and and it'll play it right back.
Right.
I have the volume turned down on it.
I don't know where my wee recorder is.
So my other recorders, I don't even use. They're useless to me. Like I said, I've got several. I think I have
I need
like
to try and get
4 of them. But those are all free. So
like silver ones, but I don't know where it is. It's in one of the upper
Yeah.
top.
actually, I have one like that. I can't get the stupid thing to work.
Yeah, I can't get it to work.
They're like, these are quite. This one's.
I
quite
have
simple.
never caught an
You just
EVP
click that
yet.
up and it goes
Never.
into recording, but then you've got to know which areas to go in because you've got like different
Yeah.
categories you can go into. So
Yeah.
I have mine set up to the most basic so that I just know
I've
how
got
to
a
record
compass.
it, and then that's it.
I've got a
Yeah.
compass.
Yeah.
This is actually one of those little tools that each this I'll cut myself now.
I have a compass on my phone. So. Oh
It's
yeah.
in case you're in a car or something and you cut your
Seatbelt. Yeah.
survival
Those.
bracelet. It was Liam's for the scouts. It's also got a flint and things in it that you pull out there. He says I'll cut myself now. You
I
pull it
got
out
two.
and spark it. It's quite
I got
handy.
two just like Pup.
Oh,
Same
2.
same one as Pup.
Oh, these,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are
I don't know
good.
where mine's is.
These are really good as well because these ones actually block out any surrounding sound. So when you actually listen to it, it's actually got the voices of like the spirits and the stuff that's going on within the spirit realm.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
up on the
the
outside.
best one I ever found was that one.
Yeah.
I got 2 of
Yeah.
them. And
It's
they
not.
were
It is noise cancellation, so you will
Mhm.
not pick up any.
So, do y'all have any other things you want to show before we have Danny take the floor and tell us all the
No.
neat things that he was? I was surprised when I saw the stuff Danny was using. I was like, that's so simple. Why did we not?
Just-
We spent hundreds of dollars and he buys a deck of freaking cards.
That's what I said about the cat balls.
Yeah.
Spent hundreds of pounds on the REM pod, and then what cat balls are £4 each or something.
Exactly. It's always like if you're going to go into investigations or anything like that, always look up your equipment. You don't have to spend loads and loads of money to have good equipment, and you can find some really good bits that can become really good investigation equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And just always the protection. Make sure you've got your things like your sages, your sedimento wood, crystals, frankincense and myrrh, different salts. You've got your witch's salt, normal salts, all of these sort of things. Your water. I make my blessing water. I use my moon water, then I put my salts and I put a certain crystal in there to charge it, and I make all of that myself.
Yeah, I got that one too, Drew.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I've never heard
basics, guys.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay thousands of pounds to have good equipment. We haven't paid thousands of pounds. Well, I definitely haven't.
Me either.
Yeah. I don't tell Lee how much I
A
pay.
screwdriver. This has got little screwdriver heads on it. This is I found is the most handy tool yet.
You're gonna stab somebody with it? Wow!
Yeah, it's got it's actually a screwdriver. It's got the little bits in the top.
Yeah, my brother bought me one of those one year for Christmas.
It's
'Cause
good
I
if
was-
you use batteries.
Oh, my honey is in. Hello, everybody. I'm watching, and hey, Danny.
Hey,
Next
Lee.
week I'm starting back. Oh, let me put that up because this is for you, Danny. There you go. Can you see that, or you want me to read it?
I can see it, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were on a computer or a phone.
Awesome.
Well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, and
Thank you, brother.
he's been sunning outside to get a tan. He says so when he go work out, he'll have a tan. He asked me, he goes, honey, do you want to go out and tan? I said, I'm not impressing nobody. I ain't getting sunburned for nobody. That hurts.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
But that's everything from us. So if you want to put over to Pups, that's up to you, sis.
Alrighty, Danny, you want to go teach somebody, all of them, and us and me, on what you use? Because I know you you almost have such basic things that it's mind-boggling that it's like, why did we not think of that?
And he makes a lot of it as well. He makes a lot of it, and he'll like spruce it up to make it more what he wants it to be as well. So he's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to take paper with a thread and a tack and put it in between the doorways, right? Have it hang down to about halfway.
Okay.
Then I tell the spirit, if you want me to know you're here, just walk through and move the paper, you know. And I've had cases where I'll be sitting here and you'll see in two doors, right? The paper will go woof, and then the next door woof.
Really?
You
Right
know,
through the corridor.
I got golf balls on a string, so instead of a grid like you got, I hang up all your golf balls, and if the golf ball starts swinging, you know something went through there. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Because a lot of people don't realize they think, well, if they're not in human form, how are they making a move? With their energy. So when they go through, their energy will make them
Yeah.
move. Same way we can feel them because we feel the energy.
Yeah.
right, and you know you get hot and cold, right? Now, everybody, well, why, right? Well, if you take your hands, you go like this, they stay cool, right? You do the same thing but go fast, it gets hot.
Right.
So depending on how powerful or how fast the spirit moving,
I'm gonna shut the door. 'Cause
That's
I
what
can
you're gonna
hear
get.
you and you're like,
if a spirit is moving slow, okay, if a spirit is taking his time, moving around, whatever, you get cold spots, right?
Yeah.
If that spirit's in a hurry or excited, it's going to heat up and you get a hot spot,
Right.
right? Because the molecules are going faster, right? So that's why you get hot spots and cold spots. You know? I used to go in the summertime when it gets to about 80, I go ghost hunting just to find a cold spot. But
Like, come on, spirit.
Yup.
It is true that they do, though. They do heat up as they move faster because it's an energy and it does still pick up that sort of thing. That's why sometimes when you see these certain devices and you see a very blue spirit sort of entity come, and then suddenly it turns pink, red, and people automatically think there's two spirits in there, and it's the same spirit moving.
yeah, it was another thing we used to do. You'd take like a little turntable
Yeah,
with a record, eh? And we would glue magnets on the record top.
Blue what?
blue magnets.
Magnets,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, okay.
And then you turn it on and it'll spin. And the magnets will cause a vortex giving energy. Right? So, and then, but if
So
you
that's kind of
stand
like with my pendulum doing the vortex with the pendulum.
when you stand there, you'll get a headache because
The energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go lie down. Good girl. Move.
Well, I mean,
So like that
I use-
device that you were saying about Sister Mystical, the one what you said where it gives the spirits the energy, that device thing that Pups just
yeah,
explained,
yeah,
the
that's same thing. Same
Yeah.
thing. And we use tennis balls and little toys and all that kind of stuff, you know. I don't think a trigger object should be something expensive. I think it should be something that a kid or an adult would find interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
preferably not breakable.
Yeah.
as an adult, and you put a REM pod down there, if I don't find it interesting, why would I go near it? Right? But if I'm an adult and I put a shot of whiskey and say, hey, if you move that, you can have the whiskey.
Mhm.
You know, we do all kind of crazy shit.
But you know, if you think about it, like sometimes, like the spirits, if they passed a long time ago, they're not going to want to touch any of the electronics. They're afraid they're going to
No,
get
they don't know
shocked
what
or
it is.
something. But if you use like the cards or something you use, that's
Yep.
something more that they would be familiar with and be more
Yes.
prone to
Yeah, the
come
best-
through.
That's one of the best ones. You take a couple cards and you stand them up and say, okay, knock them over. You know, there's all kinds of stuff you can use, but you just have to figure it out. You know, like I don't have very much electronic equipment. You know,
Yeah, that's
I
the
do
reason
think
when
some of
Drew
the
meant,
spirits
yeah.
are spooky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason when Drew had mentioned you, and I was like, well, yeah, because for that very reason, because you can explain to people what they can use. Because if they can't afford this equipment and they want to go do paranormal stuff, they can make a lot of things like you're saying there, and then they'll have an arsenal of stuff.
Yeah,
The
I got
chickens, Uncle Dan, and the wee
I got a duffel bag full of equipment, and it's probably about $18 for the whole damn bike.
the spirits love those little chickies, didn't they?
My little tickets, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
do love them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember them. Yeah. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe to all of our channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also got like
Yeah.
flashing ghosts and stuff like that as well that he uses as trigger objects and stuff. And like you can even put down like crystals and stuff and have them move. Pup's done a video once where he had a certain energy in his building in his home with him, and he was trying to help him, but he was trying to get him to communicate. So he asked him to touch certain things on the table, and Pup's actually got the video of him actually moving the crystal to what Pups was saying. He was actually moving it. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
That was.
My ear itches. I was looking around because I was like, now I know when I get off, I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot to bring that out, or I forgot to bring that out. I'm like looking around to see what I forgot.
Yeah, his box and things is upstairs. I forgot to lift it.
And besides that, like I like to give water and food and stuff, for energy,
Yeah.
because
Offering.
Also,
Wasn't it?
yes, I started to say that candles with the flame, they can pull energy from that flame. Now, I
you
used
get
to.
them to move it,
Yeah. Matter of fact, I do have a bag that's missing because I just thought about it because I have like all my sage and stuff in it, and I have a candle in it for that very reason. Now, the only time I've used the candle, I was at a graveyard, and no wind was blowing, and as soon as I lit that thing, after that, it wouldn't stay lit because the wind started gusting and stayed gusting the whole entire time we were there. So that
I've got the basics in
Yeah.
there. I've not got everything
Yeah.
in there. Like normally, I'd put some crystals in there. I've got my black salt that Pups learnt me to do. I have my own spare feather because I don't use my feathers that I use at home to do my blessings when I'm out. I use completely different things. Obviously, my sages, sentimental wood, crystals, charcoal, frankincense or myrrh. Some people take incense and use things like dragon's blood and jasmine, lavender.
Yeah.
All of these are really good for when you're in spirit communication as well, especially jasmine, lavender, and heather, because it gives off a positivity energy to the good spirits, but the negative doesn't like the
Yeah,
lavender.
the spirit's asking us
It
for
makes them
roses.
back off. It doesn't get rid of them, it backs them off.
right.
Right.
Thanks,
Thanks, Phoenix. So Phoenix said Woody was here, but then she said, never mind,
Yeah,
he stopped.
it was. He was going a minute ago.
Pops there to say hello.
I think if I just ignore him, he'll finally go away.
I just ignore him now as well.
And if you're spiritual and stuff, you can make other things as well, like herbs, like special protection herbs and blessing herbs and stuff like that for the spirits. Obviously, offerings are really good. So taking things like tobacco and sweets, a bit of fruit like oranges or something like that. All of this stuff is really good for the energy of spirits and water.
We were supposed to go up to where we heard the witches cackle up at Lead Hills, so that was an offer, and I was taken up to the witch. It's got sage in it, nettle in it. I can't even remember half the things that's in it. Some coins and some aventurine. It's half an aventurine bracelet actually that broke, and I kept it on half the string and tied it. So I'm just going to give her that. I can't remember what's all in it.
Good. You can do them in jars. You can do them in the mesh bags as well. You can put all the bits into the mesh bag. It's just an offering to the Mother Nature, because obviously they live off Mother Nature. So
get out when I get there and give her it.
Danny, you jump in there whenever you want.
Oh, I'm good.
Pups learn us really, really, really well. Like we've sat there and listened to Pups over a lot of stuff, and we've had like classes with him and stuff. But when we've learned, because we're taking Pups' footsteps, you know what I mean? Like Pups is here, but we're kind of we're running behind Pups. We're trying to keep up.
Welcome in, ladies.
I would like to ask him what he feels about the difference in the camera quality from then to now. I mean, a spirit's a spirit. I suppose it'll maybe show up better in the older cameras, maybe.
In some, film is good. Because you can get a lot of different angles, but they both have benefits, like
Yeah.
with a actual photograph with a film or whatever. Um, you have it right there. If it's not a flash, what else could it be? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it's very pretty much that's what you see is what you get. With the digital ones, it can be manipulated or whatever, but
Yeah.
you do get a broader spectrum with the newer camera, right?
Yeah.
So because of the so much more spectrum you get, the newer ones are better. But
Yes.
for looking at and say, okay, now debunk this, the old ones are better.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like
Lady
the
Witch.
recorders, isn't it? The ones that you press the button. They seem to have been better than, well, I don't know about the DR6 or whatever you call it. It's expensive, right enough. That's about £1,000, I hear.
no,
But I mean,
yeah,
the recorder seems to be quite good for picking them up.
and like my reel to reel and my cassette, I still use that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those ones. Lady Witch, you're just coming in. We had showed all of our paranormal equipment that we use on our investigations, and now we have Danny on here because Danny is more of the I don't know how to
Well, we
say.
say old school
Yeah,
investigation.
yeah, okay, old school investigations, and so he can tell you a lot of things like how he makes stuff to use. So he's more of the hands-on making kind of stuff that works just as good as, instead of paying hundreds of dollars for electronics like we have.
It's also on a table as well.
He's
You
been in it over 50 years. He's
Yeah,
been in
you
it
could
over
Yeah.
50 years.
circle on a table
Yeah.
and maybe a coin or something and see if they can move it. That type of thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew,
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Tipping table as well. Tipping table where they can tip the table and
Yeah,
Drew Phoenix has a message here. Says, Sis Rochelle, tell Sis Drew she needs to put in there lavender in that jar.
Yes,
I
it
don't
did.
know. I don't know why I'm getting the strong feeling she needs to put lavender.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll put some lavender in it.
Hey, Dobie.
Hey, Dobby. Cool.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm glad everybody is here.
Use your imagination
Yeah,
as well, isn't it? Just use your imagination. What you've got lying around. I mean, I've got a thing up there. It's actually a pentagram that's hanging. If I wanted to, I could try and communicate with that because it's like a pendulum. Just use your imagination.
like swinging it and things like
Yeah.
that. Like I've done it with my broom. Like just the simplest. I put a broom in the middle of my front room and I done a little stack of sweets on top. The little old-fashioned sweets in the wrappers.
Yeah.
Put them on top and I'm sitting over away from the broom. And I'm going, if you're here, just do something to one of the devices. It didn't go for any of the basic, normal investigation equipment. It went for my broom, smacked one sweet from the top of a pile of 3 of them. You cannot explain that it's done one sweet and not the others. And it wouldn't have been wind because the broom was stable as well. So
Because it was isolated. Yeah, when they're isolated, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, oh yeah. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Only on lives. I use Spirit Box, but I do investigation a little bit, but not my cup of tea.
I use spirit apps
Yeah.
on my investigation, but I maybe only do it for like 10, 15, 20 minutes and maybe then
There's nothing wrong with it.
the end. I
There's
don't
nothing-
really do it on very
Hey.
often.
Don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
In fact,
You don't
I
have
get
the
some
time,
really
do you?
good. I get really good responses on some of my stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they
all
are good to
right?
use,
It's
but
all-
you'll find that you become so busy you forget about your spirit apps because you're so busy looking at what the EVP's saying or anything else, So
yeah. Hang on.
Sharon, I thought you froze up, but you just weren't
no,
moving.
we
Yeah, I was
went
just
right.
doing
The pup said, "Hang on," so we just went silent. I don't know why, but we've always been
When I
like
see
that.
Danny's mouth moving, I'm thinking, is he talking and I'm mute?
He's muted, isn't he? I think he's talking to his son.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
talking to someone in the background.
Oh, it was
That
like
far
I thought
away.
I
I was
was.
just sitting there for a minute, like,
Because it's my little phone and I'm away back here, I'm thinking, what?
that's why I went silent. I was like, hang on, his mouth's moving, but
Yeah, I would
You're
just say
welcome,
use your
Phoenix.
imagination, guys. I would just think of whatever you've got lying around. Even don't run out and buy like crazy EVP machines and see if your phone has got a recorder on it and things.
yeah, but it's just something basic like that's really good.
Yeah.
Phones are really good in investigations for photos, for videoing, and for recording. They are really good. I use my phone.
Especially the iPhones.
You've got a
If you
special
notice
app
the
in there.
iPhones, you can slow them down now as
Yeah, you
well.
can slow it down and make it so it goes slower. There is also app bits on there where you can change the color of the screen, and I do it on my streams. I'll use my phone and I put like a black and white like night vision thing, and it brings up the orbs amazingly. You can see
You can
Yeah,
actually buy a little. I
amazing.
think you can actually buy a little what you call it, the night vision lights for the bottom of your phone as well. Now I'm sure
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
can.
something.
Yeah, they are doing that because a lot of investigators are using their phones to do the basic investigation footage, especially if you're
don't
like
know
on things like
if they're
YouTube
there,
and you've got 1,000 subs. You can go on your phone, so it's easier because people are there and then. So it is really
yeah.
good.
Well, my thing is about it being visual for you guys, right?
Yeah,
The equipment I use, other than my old-fashioned stuff, I guess, whatever, it's because I'm old.
Yeah, old
But the-
fashioned's a good way of saying it.
That's not
cool.
but the reason is so you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't have a problem seeing
Yeah.
them, or
I
hearing them.
don't.
But
See, I did want to say the old geezer because I'm older than you.
no, you're not. You think you are, but you're not.
How old are you, Danny?
I ain't telling you that. I'm an elder.
Okay, so in a few more months I'll be 64.
Good
Wow.
for you.
Are you about older than you, Danny?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
The gentleman never tells his age.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. I'm not older. So, I might.
When I was 8, because I finished my shaman training and my nature shaman and my nature druid training, I already had to go to work. Okay. I didn't actually start work for a couple years after, but you know what I mean? So since I was 10 even, I was considered an elder. Right? Because when you are a nature druid or when you are a nature shaman, your age doesn't count anymore.
Right.
And you basically don't tell people your age. Right? Because if I go to help someone who was 20 years older than I am, how am I an elder? If I help someone who's 20 years younger, they say, well, you're too old.
Yeah.
Right? But an elder, it's about the knowledge,
Yeah.
right? It's
Well, that is true.
It's not so much about the age. I've never told unless I'm involved with someone, like if they're my girlfriend or whatever, nobody gets to know my age, not my real age.
No need to know.
Because it's basically frowned upon by my culture to tell.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Because you're a social
I don't
being,
I don't give a rat's ass, to be honest,
Yeah.
but I am bound by certain rules, right? If you're an elder, shut your pie hole about how old you are. That's basically the number one rule.
Huh.
You know, and
Well, that makes sense.
you know, because you don't want someone. You know, a lot of people don't feel comfortable having someone younger than them giving them advice, right?
Yeah.
And it's
That's
different.
because of their ego, though.
If you are young, but they call you an elder, it takes away the age, right? This is an elder. Might be young, but he's an elder, right?
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do
Really,
with
it's
it.
just somebody that's got wisdom and knowledge.
It's all about the wisdom
Yeah.
and about the knowledge.
Yeah. And you
What?
don't have to be an old man or an old woman to be
No,
able to have that
it's
knowledge.
about how many hours and how much time and how much effort you put into your field, right?
Mhm.
Like, by the time I was 8 years old, I did at least 20 holy ground blessings, right? I did 4 or 5 house blessings. I did 2 or 3 exorcisms. I'm not even 12 years old yet, right? It's all about what you put into it.
Yeah.
You know, by the time I was 14, I was dubbed by the tribal council and by the Druid Society as a white wolf, right? So, but that's not because I'm older. It was because of what I put into it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
understand?
Experience and knowledge and
And
all of that.
dedication, you know, and dedication, and your belief. Like, belief is a very strong. If you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in something, nothing's going to work, right?
Exactly.
You have to fully believe in what you're doing, and that takes time to build.
Yep.
You know, that takes experience. That takes a lot of work in order to be 100% sure of what you do. Now, that's not to say what I do is going to work for you, or what you do will work for me. Well, I damn sure tell you what I do works for me. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what you do should work for you, period.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, right? Just because I do it a certain way has nothing to do with you guys. You know,
That's
you
why
guys
it's
do
called
your,
practice, isn't it? Because
Well,
everybody.
you
if you
guys
think
gotta
that's
do you gotta do things the way that work for you, the things that you believe in, right? If you don't believe in something, get rid of it. It's pointless. No point in having it in your bike. If you believe in it, put that in your bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, you know that
It's
kind of
simple.
goes back to Drew wanting you to come on the panel to explain like how you do things because it's so different than how we do it, but yet it's so simple that so many people could incorporate it. I may
yeah.
decide to put a deck of cards in my arsenal back here
You should.
so that when I
Go
go
ahead.
places, I can put it up and say, guess where I got this idea from?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go right ahead. You go
Yeah.
anything and everything, and this is for everybody, okay? Anything and everything that I do or that I put on here is for you.
Yeah.
If you can use it or adapt it or just take one part of it and make it yours, by all means, you have my blessings. Knock yourself
Yeah.
out.
That's what I always tell people. You can use it, you can make it your own, change up what you need to change up, whatever you feel to
But, you know,
change
whatever,
up.
if it works for you, okay, if it's something that can work for you, please feel free. You have my permission. Take it, use it. That's why it's there in the first place, right?
You feel your
I'll
house.
be like Danny from Chasing Bones Inspectors showed me this.
You go
Feel
right
like-
ahead.
But
You
it
know,
walking
I'm good with it.
forward to things, you know.
You know,
A lot of people think there's spirits in their house there. Don't go out and buy crazy equipment. Set up a big line of paper to see if you can record it moving when nobody's around, when nobody's sleeping.
yeah, yeah, just do that. You know, I do all kinds of crazy.
You
You know,
find yourself looking around, don't you, for something to use?
all the time. You know, and I put all kinds of stuff up and
Yeah.
like
Welcome
for me,
in, son of Make It Bigfoot.
a lot of
Welcome.
the stuff that you guys use, we never had, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of a lot of things we made as we went, and a lot of my equipment, a lot of the stuff I ever did, it's all just made as I go, right?
Yeah.
Or I see something, I go, hey, I wonder if I could use that, you know, whatever. You know those little pixie things you put in your yard named pinwheel?
Yeah.
The windmills.
Those things
It's
are
a
awesome.
pinwheel.
Take them to a haunted location, stick them in a room, tape them to a desk where there's no breeze, put a camera on it, and say, spirits, if you want to play with this is a lot of fun. Spin it once with your finger. Say, knock yourself out, guys. You know, make it go free.
Hours, especially
Put a
the
camera
kids.
on it. put a camera on it, walk away. I'll bet you $1 to a donut. When you come back an hour later and you run through the film, you'll see it being played with for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, stuff like that'll work good if you like go in and you're like, okay, so there's nobody in the house. We made sure everything was turned off. You know, no heat, no air is blowing out of any of the vents or anything. There's no windows open. You know, all of this stuff, so they understand that when it moves, it's like, oh.
So anyway, here you go. I got people that spend $300 for a set of motion detectors, and I buy 10 of those things for $1.99 over at the dollar store, and I get the same deal. It moves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the cat balls is like, isn't it, with the REM pods?
Yeah, same thing. You know, it's like, what are you doing? You know? The other
But
thing
it's so simple. We don't think about it.
Yeah.
The other thing I love to do is, you know, those little Tinkerbells you can get on Christmas stockings and stuff. I take them off, I put them on a string, and I run them across the room this way and one across that way, make a big X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any energy going through that room is going to make those go dingle, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got the room closed off, you got your camera in there, you start hearing all those bells going off, you know you've got activity.
There's some big paranormal investigators on their, you know, that have big channels that are doing that. That are putting the bells and attaching them from one side to the other.
I know a few big channels and on TV and stuff who have borrowed a few of my ideas to go on their channel. And I said, fantastic, knock yourself out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's just so simple. We just don't think about the simplest things. Because if somebody says my house is haunted and you're like, okay, what's going on? And they're like, well, they're moving this and they're moving this. And we don't even think to incorporate that into what we do.
Wash them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. You just got to, you know, go, okay, what the hell? What next? You know?
Yeah, you can do so much if you think about it. Feathers and things as well. Leave a feather sitting in a bit of plasticine or something and see if the feathers move. There's lots of
Better
things.
yet, you take color, a blue one, a yellow one, a red one, and a black one, okay? And you put the plasticine or you put a piece of tape or whatever, okay? You put the black one, you say, okay, if there's a negative spirit here, move the black feather. If you're a human spirit, move the blue feather. If you're an animal spirit, you can move the yellow feather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great idea.
And you'll be surprised. Sometimes only the yellow will move, or sometimes only the blue will move. You got them all within 6 inches of each other, right? Only one moves. Well, if it's something blowing on the feathers, they'd all move, right? You can't have one in the middle moving.
Yeah. Well, that's what Sherry was saying earlier when we were like, yeah, that means something when only one does.
When only one
does.
does.
I was the sweets. I had a pack of 3. Now, if it was the wind, it would have blew the whole thing and the broom over, but it wasn't because everywhere was closed. And
hey, son of the naked Bigfoot, how you doing?
But one thing I find, like, I get from a lot of people that come and talk about the paranormal and that, they always go, well, what if you've not got a faith and you're an investigator and you're wanting to help someone? The fact is you don't have to have a faith that you believe in. You have the belief in yourself and that you can do that cleansing at that time and put that energy in. And even though you're doing that and you're not thinking that you're thinking of an energy to help you, you will be. So I always say to them, like when they come in and go, well, we don't follow God and we don't follow any sort of religion. So how can we bless and cleanse and get rid of the spirit? Well, you can. It's the belief in yourself that you can remove this energy, that this energy is not welcomed. You can do it. It just helps to have a spirituality more.
It's belief, okay? If you believe in what you're doing, okay, it's all about
everybody
belief.
hit that like button. Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they come in and go, we don't believe in God. As if you don't need to believe in God to be able to do that. You just believe in yourself.
I don't give a rat's ass if you believe a head of lettuce is God. I don't care. I really don't care. All I care is you believe in what you're saying and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? That's the key. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work. You could take sage and sage your house all day and all night, and the spirits are going to go, and if you do that and believe it's going to cleanse your house, they go, oh crap, and they got to leave.
And that is, it is about putting your intentions into what you're doing. Like
Sage is just sage, right?
Yeah.
A cross is just a cross, right?
Yeah.
Oh, if you have a cross, a vampire can't bite you. Oh, if you don't believe in it, the vampire will take the cross, bend you over, and shove it up your... The thing is, you have to have the belief in what you're doing. If you have that, you're good to go.
Yeah. Belief's everything, and it doesn't have to be in a deity or anything.
It doesn't have to be in anything except for what you're doing.
Yeah, believe in yourself.
You
know, you got when you're believing in what you're doing, you're believing in your magic and the magic in the world and the magic with Mother Nature, the magic of God, the magic of everything. If you're believing in what you're doing, if you're believing in the magic, for lack of a better word, the intention, and you're believing in that, then all the Mother Nature, all the magics, all the stuff in the world, all the energy is going to be into there because that's what you're believing.
Yeah.
Right? So because you don't believe in something directly doesn't mean you don't believe or disbelieve.
Exactly.
Right? It's all about belief in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's basically
and determination as well to try. If it doesn't work, try something else. Don't give up.
No, you don't give up.
Yeah.
And that really is it. I mean, if you half-hearted believe, you're going to get a half-hearted result, right? If you say, okay, I'm going to sponge it and hopefully clean my house, it will get rid of everything for a couple of 3 weeks. But then it's going to come back pissed off, right? And you're going to say, well, it didn't work. Yeah, no, it worked for 3 weeks because you only half believed what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again, but this time believe it more. Well, hey, it worked for 3 weeks. Maybe if I, put a little more effort, it'll last for 4 weeks, right? So try it again. The next time, believe in it fully, and they won't come back. Again, it's all about what you believe. Like at first you got 50-50. Well, it's only going to half work. They're going to come back, guaranteed. Right?
That's like when you do investigations when you do investigations and the people say, well, I heard that this is only going to work for a little while, that they come back really more mad. Well, right there is saying when I leave, that's what you are expecting to happen.
Right.
You're expecting for it to come back.
Right. Exactly. You just open the door.
Yeah.
And I've had gigs where I go to work, right? And the person will say that to me before I start, and I say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll come back when you got a better attitude. Right? I start walking on. They go, where are you going? I said, well, you just opened the door. I'm going to do all this work, and you're expecting it to already come back. Why should I bother? Right? Why don't you believe? So instead of believing,
you want to
hey, how you doing, brother?
You're on camera.
So anyway,
I'm doing a full frontal. I didn't realise that I was on camera.
That's okay. Just hold a beer in front of your crotch next time. But anyway, it's all about belief.
You're good.
I was only asking Adriana what suits you wanted.
Don't fucking lie.
All is good, William.
Yeah, we're just razzing you. All's good. Just playing with you.
Yeah, no, you do have to fully believe. Like, if you can't go in there going, I think I can remove this energy. You've got to go in there saying, I can move this energy. You will be removed. You've got to have that strength behind what you're doing.
It's like I tell them, look, whether you believe or not, I know it's going to work, and I believe in what I'm going to do. All you got to do is believe that I believe.
Yeah.
Believe in what I believe, and you're going to be fine, right? Then I'll do it, you see? But I got to get them on my page, Now, if you go and they're on their own page about, oh, it's not going to work, whatever, say, well, look, I believe it'll work because it's worth for, all the work I've done, all the cases, and they never come back, you know. So you don't believe in the thing. Well, how about you believe that I'll do my best to make sure they never come back instead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I believe I'll do my best that they don't come back. And if they do come back, you can call me. But in the meantime, I'll do my best, right? That changes their whole perspective of it, and now you got a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that when I've gone out to investigations at my house, I've always said, like, when it's been a cleansing, I'm like, you've got to be on my page when I do this. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, if you don't believe in what I'm doing and you don't believe that your home can be cleansed, you're just continuing to keep that negative energy here. It will come back.
Yeah,
It'll
it
only
will.
go for a short
I
period
mean-
of time. If you're asking me to be here and do this, you've got to believe in that 100%. You've got to believe that I can cleanse this house and that you're going to be safe and you're going to be free. That you have to believe that, because as you'll be bringing it and calling it back.
Yeah, they bring it right back.
You'll be
so-
constantly thinking about it, or the little noise or something you'll hear. You're going to think it's something when it isn't, and you're putting that energy back into reality.
And then they think you didn't do a
Yeah.
Then they think you didn't do a good job when it's not
and it
you,
isn't us.
it's
A lot of
them.
And
Yeah.
I've had people come up to me and say, like, I don't think you've done the cleansing properly. I said, oh, I did. I know how to do it because I've done it many times. What did you do? Did you do this like I told you to do? Did you do that? No. Then that's why it's come undone. And have you been thinking about it? Have you been talking about it? Well, yeah, you're bringing that energy back. It's not me that's not done my job properly. You've not followed the instructions.
Yeah.
And me and Sister Drew had this problem with a guy about a year and a half ago. He kept coming to us wanting help. So we done little, like, candles, prayers, and done things for him, but he'd come back mixed up all the time, and it was like he didn't want to get rid of that energy. So in the end, me and Drew had to walk away from it. It was affecting us because he wasn't listening to what we're telling him to do.
Yeah, he
No.
didn't want to listen. He wanted us
He
to
didn't. No.
do rituals every day, I think.
Say enough is enough. You know
Yeah.
when somebody is not going to be reachable, you need to walk away, because you'll put yourself in more danger than you're going to
Yeah.
them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
if you can't make them see it your way, then get out.
Yeah.
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 Drew, before I forget, I'm gonna have to get a clothespin. I have one in the room that I'm gonna put on my deal because I saw you do that. Because I was like, I hate having to hold that thing, so I'm gonna end up doing that.
I've got a
So,
spare one at the bottom of my bag as well in case I lost that one.
well, everybody, we've been holding up Drew and Sherry now. It's almost 11 o'clock where y'all are at, right?
It's just getting dark.
Really?
To be honest, I'm the reason I'm called a vampire is because I don't sleep at night, so I'm awake anyway. So, and even more so at the minute. But you know, I'm always around.
I thought it was because you were so white.
That as well, it is. But the fact is, I'm not white. It's just the camera. Because when I put my makeup on, I'm actually quite tan. So
it's going to be a good day tomorrow.
Well, I cannot believe that it's still that daylight and out there. That
oh yeah, it is like because it's coming into the summer months. The sun's last at night. The night time is a lot more lighter until about 11, 12ish. And then it starts to get really dark.
Yeah,
so
that'll be.
I mean, we can stay on longer. We can stay on. Where'd you go? We can stay on longer if you want. But this looks really weird now in this.
We look like some. What are they called? The
where'd y'all go?
Dominoes.
Okay, that's better.
That's what we look like. We're standing up dominoes. That's what we looked like a minute ago.
Well, I was kind of skinny there. I might have to put it back.
that is definitely what it is, guys. Like, if you're going to do this sort of work, you do have to believe in what you're doing, and just know that you can't help everybody. There are going to be people you can't get through to, and that it's going to need to be left into somebody maybe a bit higher than you. But you know, you always just do your best. Always set out when you go out and do this sort of things. Feel good, especially if you're going to be working with clients. Always set out that you're wanting to help those clients, that you're wanting to bring the best for those clients, and building that friendship and that trust with them at that time. That's really important, because if you've not got trust, you ain't going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to give a promotion. I got a new channel called Danny's Home Renovation. Okay.
Yeah, that took the place of your other one, right?
That took the place of Off Grid because I accidentally, goofily, deleted it. But anyway, It's gonna have all my home improvements and lots of stuff about the Grove on that channel. So, if you guys can, I got like 8 people on that channel.
Yeah, I'll go
Well,
over some
okay,
more.
so if
Yeah.
we were on your other one and you delete it and then you have this one, see, I clicked on it and it said on it friends, so it's like, did I automatically join it because I was on the other one?
Yeah, I think you should still be there. Yeah, you should still be subscribed. As
Oh
long as
no,
he's only changed
The
the name.
Facebook is fine.
Okay,
It's the
okay.
YouTube channel. The Facebook's okay. Nothing wrong with the
Yeah.
Facebook. It's just, I just changed the name on the Facebook to match the YouTube.
Oh,
So in the
okay.
YouTube channels, have you actually closed one down and opened another
He
one, or
said
did you just
he's
change
Right.
the
lost
name?
one. Yeah.
Right.
Right, okay.
The
I'll
off
resubscribe
grid
to that
is
one.
gone. The off grid on
Right,
YouTube
okay.
is gone, and
Right.
it's replaced with Danny's Home Renovations.
Okay, I'll look at the link. I'll share it out as well, guys. If any of you are struggling to find it, I'll put it on my community wall and things.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm gonna have to go back and subscribe then, because when I clicked
Yeah,
on when you had your deal earlier, and I clicked on it, and it was like I thought it was taking me to Facebook, but I don't know. I was confused as crap.
Yeah. No, Jason Bone Inspectors, that's good. Danny Strongman, that's good. But
Right.
Danny's Home Renovations is brand new on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, because yeah, I had seen where Christina had put on there that was down for a bit. So I guess when it was down for a bit, it was you deleting it by accident.
You got it. Yeah, I saw
Right.
that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the thing is, when you delete a YouTube channel, you're no longer the sub to that one. So you have, if he makes a new one, you have to go and sub to him.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good job it wasn't your
Okay.
chasing bones. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Amen.
I feel I'd have had a
I
heart
would be
attack if I
so
see a
mad.
couple
Yeah.
I'd be like, "What the hell's going on here?" Like,
Yeah, no,
Oh.
that'd be so bad. No.
Yeah. Oh, don't tempt fate. Phew, phew.
Oh
wait.
wow.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done that by accident as well. That's why I'm really careful when I do it, because I get so scared on what I'm going to press. It's just like, do not, no.
Yeah.
Go over
Yeah,
there.
I
I
don't
just read
want
things
to.
and double read it and triple read it.
Yeah,
When it comes to sea bass, I don't mess around there. You know.
Yeah, don't mess
no,
around.
definitely not.
You'll
Huh.
be nearly at 2,000 with that now, are you not? You'll be nearly about 2,000 subs with your big channel.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pop's
Huh.
channel's got more than I do. I think I'm about 1,400 or something.
Right.
I'm about, I think I'm, I don't know, I think I'm like 15 subs
No.
from being 2,000.
Yeah, you're about 15 subs
Yeah,
from 2,000.
Well,
Yeah.
we put 2,000,
Yeah.
It does take time,
15,000
guys.
or 1,500? 15,000?
2,000.
Oh,
She's
Just get
almost
2,000.
15 subs away from being
Pups
2,000.
has got
Oh,
one about
it's my
1,400,
hearing.
500 subs at
Oh.
the minute. So he's
Right.
still got a little way to go. But the thing is,
Oh.
anybody that comes on and gets YouTube and that, don't think that you're going to reach your 1,000 like that. It takes work and
Oh, it
dedication.
definitely does, guys.
And
Yeah.
you've got
Drew
to
and Shirley's still trying to get me up there to 1,000,
want
and I'm
us to-
just like
I want her to start
535.
going live. I want her
And
to
I
start
think-
going live another day a week to help her push her watch hours up.
I think one of my problems with Jason Bones Inspectors is I'm happy where it is, right? So I'm not trying to grow the channel. I haven't tried to grow in years, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm happy where it is. I know everybody. People come in. I know who they are. New people come in. I get to know them.
Yeah.
You know. So
That's a great way to grow it.
if it grows, it grows, right?
Yeah.
But I'm happy. So I
Yeah.
don't
I
really.
I'm not bothered by it. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you're nearly at 2,000." You don't ever hear me like mention that on my channel. "Oh, man, nearly at 2,000. Support me." I'm not. I'm like Pups. I'm not bothered if I get any more. I've got my people I believe in and that believe in me. And if I get new people, it's really good. But I'm
It's
not.
awesome if you get new one. Yeah.
Things like that. I'm just
I wouldn't
doing
want
what
a
I'm
great big channel you didn't know people.
You know, I mean, it's awesome. Other people want to join my channel and become part of the
Yeah.
Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I love it, right? I love it.
Yeah.
Danny, what is your channel again? Iron Fire Horse is saying she cannot find it under search.
Danny's Home Renovation All lowercase, no apostrophes, and all crammed together.
So there's all in the one word. See, sometimes that's what happens because sometimes it's a capital letter at the beginning and it
And
throws
it
you
doesn't
off.
let you find them, does it? Because I've put people's
You
names
can't
and I'm like,
find
oh, I'm
it.
not finding it. I'm just getting some random stuff. And then I've tried it a different way and it's come up and it's like,
All
yeah.
capitals or something.
Yeah.
That's why I try to keep to a basic name for my channel. So, like, even though it's long, it's not where they've got up, down.
PWI gets you there.
like that. Just
Yeah. I think when you type in PWIS, it usually comes up.
yeah, it does.
And I'll
Yeah.
try to see if I can find it.
And then I'll let me get on YouTube on my phone, and then that way, if you put something on there, and then I can I don't know, will I be able to make him blue on it if he's on his Danny Wolf channel?
No, you would
If it
have to
comes
have
into
him
the
come into your
chat-
channel under his new profile for you to be able
If it
to
comes
do it.
into the chat, innit, that would be the only way
Yeah.
you'd be able to do it.
Oh,
And another thing, guys, if you are thinking of going into investigations, it is always good to have some sort of social media platform just to be able to get your stuff out there because it'll help you to get noticed more. Not just but for like supporters and that, but like potential clients and people like that. These are ways that they can get hold of you as well.
Not just
Having some sort of social media.
turn that down. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I can just go over here. Hit pause there. And then go to there. No, that's not what I want to do. Where's the more button? There it is, the more button.
I think he's trying to come in on his new name, guys, so you can get it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to get the link.
Oh, okay.
Son of Naked Bigfoot, I just made you a standard mod, so if you comment, if you're still in here, Hatchy, how come you're not blue?
Hatchy. Forgot you were in, buddy. I've not read the comments for a while.
Okay, there's the new channel right there, guys.
Look, my buddy. I'll
Okay,
have to
so
if I watch the replay because it'll take me out.
That's
Yeah,
my new
okay.
channel with the home renovations
Oh.
for the gym and the kitchen and the grove and all that.
okay, and it's highlighted, so all they have to do is just click on it.
Yeah, just gotta click on it.
I'm gonna go ahead and click on it too while okay, subscribe. Yep, came right up. Hit the notification. Y'all hit that all
I was worried I was going to get
notification.
kicked off then, but I didn't.
Yeah, I'll get it when it goes off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'm subscribed to
Right,
it,
I've done
Danny. And
I did
I'll
a
get,
cinema. I did a cinema on all 3 channels.
that's
It
the one
says
I
all
watched.
3
Then
channels.
I was confused.
If you hit the more button, all the links for all 3 channels are in there. So.
Hatchy, you're blue.
I've just supported it as well, Pop, so I'm on it as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Tina's already got it. Phoenix already got it.
Yeah, Phoenix. I did already too, so, and then I'll get Lee too also, because he watches all of yours, Danny. I keep telling him, he ain't feeling so good, he ain't putting nothing out yet, and then today I was like, oh my God, he's looked so good today.
Yeah, he's got better suntan.
We were all doing some major prayers for you, I know that.
I know.
I've been lighting candles.
Yellow candles left.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And when
Well,
you
gotta
don't
get
have
some
the
new candles
color
before
candles, use white.
Yes.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
I think we'll go ahead and shut it down here, guys, and let y'all go and get to y'all's lives. And I just waited to go somewhere and do a live somewhere and just, a short one. Even if nobody comes in, I can get it practice with it. And not do like I did the last time and forgot to end the live, and then Drew's like messaging me and trying to call me and sending me messages.
There was an update in the garden tomorrow or something. There was a wee update.
What?
There was an update on the garden tomorrow on a live.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I did an update, but I haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet. So, Yeah, and I put a deal in there, and because the worm bin is on the end, and I said, Drew, turn around. Don't look, Drew. It's worms. Turn around, Drew.
I'll just do that.
I'm gonna put it on the very end, so that way we just turn around. Don't click early, because that goes against the algorithm. Just let it play, but hold
Yeah.
the phone out.
I'll just let it play and I'll cover my eyes.
Yeah, but I can start doing that and doing it live once a week or something,
Yeah, you
like
should.
that with you.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So,
Yeah.
all right, so everybody, thank you for coming in. We really, really appreciate all the people coming in to watch our channels. And I think everybody on here is pretty much on everybody's channels. And so we want to thank my co-host Drew and my guest Sherry and my guest Danny. And October was supposed to be here, but she didn't make it. She has a busy life, so when she doesn't make it, we all understand. So, all right, everybody, we're going to say bye. Oh, remember we were going to do this? All righty, bye, everybody.
Bye.